You have played lots of different roles in your career, being from the product to customer-facing roles to enterprise transformation roles. How does all these things come together? And in your current role, how do all these things help you in doing what you are doing today?
Actually, where I started and where I ended, the information's changed.
Yeah.
And the context may have shifted a little bit.
Technology can be bought. So you can pay a lot of money for someone to write a piece of software.
Yes.
But the real success lies in making that technology work for the company you are selling. Right?
So each one of our team members has to start to understand those clients from day one. From the sales process, the support teams, and the customer success teams need to become.
Hi, this is Abhishek Rungta again with the I Love Technology podcast. This is episode 5 and I have got Julian Ward with me from Structured.
My name is Julian Ward. I'm the Chief Customer Officer for Structured Web, or Structured as it is now, sorry. Been with the company for just over a year. Been working with IndusNet that whole time, although the relationship precedes me for many, many years.
Thanks, Julian, for taking out time for this podcast.
Look forward to it.
Yeah. You have played lots of different roles in your career.
Yes, I have.
Being from the product to customer-facing roles to the enterprise transformation roles. How does all these things come together in your current role? How do all these things help you in doing what you are doing today?
Absolutely. So my current role is obviously customer facing.
Yeah.
And that's where I cut my teeth. I came through customer facing roles, building customer support desks, customer success teams, and then ran product. Bringing all three of those together, I can understand what the client is going through, what's in the client's mind. Product likes to build nice, flashy, great things. Does it really meet the needs of our client? Are they going to use it once we build it and we go into them? So having that relationship with the client and being able to build teams that are also vastly interested in the outcome of what we build and how we work with that clients, it is really important to me. And I love working with clients. It's my passion.
Yeah, I know. And client success is also my passion. And that's, I think, which connects both of us deeply. And when we come to client success, I think at the end of the day, it's not about doing tech or doing project. It's about the outcome.
Exactly.
How do we link in your job? How do you link the technology and the lot of work that you put behind to the outcome that the client achieves?
Yeah, a lot of companies see success as getting the product in the client's hands.
Yeah.
My success is getting the product in the client's hands and building the passion around the product. Lots of things you can put out there as a tool they put down each day. I want people to come into the work and be passionate about using that product. And that can be led from products, great. But how about customer success, working with the client, understanding the goals of that client from day one? As soon as we sign them, during the sales process, what are their outcomes they want to achieve by buying an expensive product and having an ongoing relationship with the team? So working with our teams, and our teams are all very, let's say, seasoned customer success managers and technologists together. So they blend that very well. So for the team to understand what a client gets out of it rather than, hey, I'm just here to get you up and running and then do checkpoints every month to see if they're using it. No, we want to understand the outcomes, and every client has different outcomes. How do you achieve that? It goes back to the understanding of what the client is trying to achieve from day one, rather than, hey, here's a piece of software. It's going to do what you want it to do. Here's a piece of software. It's going to make you extremely successful in what your company wants to do. Most companies go out there and buy a piece of software and they use it for many years. And it's just, it's just another tool. We want to be a part of their daily ecosystem. Like going into email. Email makes you successful. You can communicate both directions.
Yeah.
Having a platform that allows your client to be passionate about what they do. It starts with us, with the onboarding, the implementation, the content we give them, and the support service we continue to drive throughout the whole relationship. Those interactions aren't just buy, sell, transactional. They are the lifestyle for the client, right? If I want to buy something, it's a brand, it's a lifestyle. I want to be connected to that platform.
So what you need to say is that understand their goals. Understand how we can achieve that goal. And if there's any friction point that kind of stops him from achieving that easily, and comfortably.
Yeah, comfortably, right?
Yeah.
Nothing's always easy.
I
There's
know.
a lot to do. And it may be a little bit painful for a
Yeah.
migration from one platform to another. And we see that. Our job is to understand where the client's coming from, understand what he didn't like about their previous software or no software. Sometimes we're up against human process.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing to migrate from, because human process, I can have a piece of paper and it can do whatever I want it to do.
Yeah.
Few previous platforms have their set ways, and clients have set their whole teams around that. For us to understand that and get the client comfortable with that migration process to begin with, of what to expect on the back end of that migration or onboarding, is very key for us.
Gotcha. So onboarding, oral migration, helping them, walking them through,
Absolutely.
making sure that they're able to use it,
Yeah.
understanding where they're not able to use it for whatever reason,
Correct.
and fixing that part for them, because every person, every company's workflows are different.
100%. Yeah, I've got a client base that's up in the close to 50 now, which is growing, which is great.
Wow.
Not all of our clients operate the same. They're all over the place. And that's because what they need to do in their business. Do they have content design teams? Some of them don't. Okay, so this doesn't really impact them. Some people have integrations they want. Some people don't. Some people have a lot of partners. Some people only have 3 or 4 partners.
Yeah.
And they're really keying in on those partners.
Right.
So each one of our team members has to start to understand those clients from day one. From the sales process, the support teams, and the customer success teams need to have an intimate knowledge of that client.
So now I have been involved in this particular product for almost more than a decade now.
Yeah, longer than me.
And I know that the product basically helps companies manage their channel.
Correct.
And manage their channel quite well.
It manages their channel content.
Channel content, absolutely. So basically enabling their partners to take the content, customize the content, stream the content to their consumers or customers or prospects. It basically makes their life easier for the channel.
Yeah, imagine you have your channel partner program out there. Your content teams are building content. How do you get that out to your partners and enable them to be successful with less friction? That's where the key is. These channel partners, they don't have much time. They sometimes don't even have teams to do this. They can be a mom and pop shop selling a piece of software for a large vendor. They don't know what they're doing. Well, they don't have the time or wherewithal. They want to make money, but they also have to have marketing campaigns out there. Part of that is to make that life easy for them. Mm-hmm. And as we do that, we have to look at not just our customer, we have to look at that customer's customer.
Yeah.
Because if that partner comes in and says, oh, there's friction in that experience, they're not coming back.
Yeah.
And we want our partners to be selling for our vendors. And that's most important.
So that's what I was coming to, because you are selling to someone who actually is not the end user of the product.
Yep.
The end user of the product is their customers.
Correct.
And they are using to actually reach out to their customers.
Correct.
So
in a way, using multiple products like ours to do this for various different vendors. The ecosystem is as tight as it is. There's a varied number of platforms out there.
Right.
So making sure that our customer is having that delightful experience is so important to us. So when we rewrote the software over the last year, we came with a motto of every partner activated. So every time a client came in or a partner came in, they felt as though they could come back. They had success. They were able to come in, use the AI agents to build what they want, find what they want, have a conversation with the AI agent, and then build a campaign or use a pre-built campaign, but just tailor it within a matter of minutes and send it out or download it and then distribute it however they want.
So of course, I'm sure AI has disrupted this sector a lot, because every partner can now customize it as per their customer audience.
Correct.
So how has structured web moved to structured AI?
Ooh,
give me a little bit of...
Go a long way on that one.
Yeah.
Starts with the boundaries or the programming your agent, your AI agents, right?
Yeah.
So when we onboard a vendor, we work very heavily with them to understand their marketing speak. What's their tone in the marketplace? What do they say and don't they say about their product, all right? Because we don't hallucinate and say, I'm the best product, when they don't say that. They might say, hey, we are the leading technology in this space. So we spend a lot of time getting that up and date. We have a lot of time testing the AI agent, building the boundaries, and then looking at how much information and how many pages we want to scrape to surface that content for the vendor. And then when a partner comes in, they can say, okay, I want to change this. I want to add my logo. And it instantly puts their logo on the top left-hand corner.
Right.
You can say, put this into French, or I want this into French, and I want to market this into a French location, and I want to target it towards this demographic. And the AI helps them do that, still using the tone of the vendor or the original vendor, but also putting in the partner speak as well, so into their native region.
And of course, when you do this, this creates very disproportionate value.
Yes.
But to actually create that value and not cause a trouble, which is of hallucination, you need to have very deep understanding of the subject.
Correct.
How did Structure as a business develop that level of expertise and knowledge that it enables it to create the best product for channel communication?
Correct. So that predates me a long time.
Okay.
So Daniel, our original founder, built the company over 25, 26 years.
Yeah.
Vast experience in channel marketing, working with all of the kind of agencies out there, understanding what our clients are looking for, working with the research organizations, starting to build that, and then building that in, working with our clients hand in hand, working with our first early adopters, who are all the major technology players in the market today, and understanding what is it they do say, what is it they don't say, what is the language that they use, and then starting to work with our AI agents to build that, whether it's the vendor agent, the translation agent, all the way through the platform.
This means that your system is extremely well trained on what principles generally put in their communication and
Correct.
what they allow and don't allow their partners to modify in their communication.
Absolutely, yeah. So
this means that is actually solves a problem based on its lot of past learning, and it's not just something that I can code overnight using a vibe coding platform.
Exactly. We can all do that. We can do it very well. Still a threat though, isn't it? There's some companies can go out and build a vibe code, but no. It comes from many, many years of being in this space. So Structured Web as a platform, we started introducing AI into that platform as kind of add-ons. Took 3 years ago. I think it predated me by 2 years. Then we decided last year, let's rebuild this whole platform from the ground up, right? There's a lot of people that plug AI in. It doesn't always build the right platform, but building it ground up and taking that leap and pausing whatever we were doing and maybe interrupting some of our clients to do so was a bold leap. But the platform today is incredible, if I do say so. And the adoption rate from our clients, but not just our clients, our partners, incredible. We had one partner that onboarded, one client that onboarded, I'm not going to remain nameless at this point, signed up for 1,500 partners.
Wow.
Within 3 months. They've just asked us to upgrade that to 7,000 partners.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. That's not growth we've seen before. And that's because the ease of the partner use in this platform. Onboarding, again, we have onboard those partners, but it's really easy now they get into the platform. And as the platform says, just ask. So now they go in a chat.
What happens when you have to also onboard the channel? Because you're onboarded the partner. The partner has to onboard thousands of these channel partners of theirs.
Correct.
And they have to be onboard. Do you also play a role there? Or
we do.
Yeah.
We will work with office hours. Okay. We will dial into one of their standard office hours section that comes from their partner marketing managers or their partner channel partners, or managers, sorry. And we will get engaged in there. And there's so little resistance to the new platform, and there's no barriers to onboarding. We come in, you build your profile. We help you very easily now with your DNS entries. There's no roadblocks and mail diary issues, and they're off and running. And that's a really nice thing. But yeah, we work with our clients, with our support team and our education team. We'll join those sessions if need be. We find it's probably only needed once or twice.
Okay.
And as I said, with that previous vendor, yeah, their growth was phenomenal. And we're seeing that through all of our pilots that are running now. So it's really exciting.
Yeah, wonderful. So congratulations for the success. And
Thank
I really
you.
hope this keeps growing.
Very heavily down to you and your team here. So
Yes.
we've been working with you for a number of years. The content and migration that we've been doing for those clients and the content build. We couldn't handle that in-house with the volumes we're having to do. So we appreciate that.
Yeah. So going a little away from structure, now coming to your thoughts around AI and people. What do you think? I want to get your thoughts on how human ingenuity will still survive the AI onslaught. So we are having lots and lots. People are saying everything can be done using AI. Of course, I don't believe in that, and I have my views. But I would love to get your views of what AI can do and where do you need human beings?
AI is incredibly creative.
Yeah.
I love the creativity of it. I like the analysis side of it.
Yeah.
People still want their human delivery, right?
Mm.
When I build AI content, I still read through it. There's people that just send me an AI document. I'm like, oh, thanks. Very good. I could have done that myself. But there's the human level of communication or understanding, especially when it comes to customers and customer support. Start to have an interaction with an AI chatbot. I never say AI chatbot. Hi, my name's Lucy. How can I help you today? Did I answer your question? Sorry, Lucy in real life wouldn't answer that. Hey, Bob, how you doing? It'd be a little more personal. And that's what it needs to come down to. Will AI get there? Oh, I'm sure it will. But right now, and probably for the foreseeable future, that human understanding, that human knowledge of working with that client for multiple times or multiple years will still surface as that client connection. And that's what we still need.
So what you are saying is that that human connection, which basically makes you feel that you are actually talking to another human being,
Absolutely,
is invaluable.
Yeah.
And that will still be required.
It's
At least in customer facing.
and customer facing roles, right? There's still the people that want to come in and say, give me that answer quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's interesting. For many years ago over on help desk, like, oh, put chatbots on there, put self-service on there.
Yeah.
My self-service numbers stayed the same. My phone numbers, the home calls increased because clients were getting their hearts. Different technologies, different time. We're now seeing a 33% interaction across the board, whether it's the AI agent, emails, and phone calls. But the questions that go into the AI agent are the simple ones.
Okay.
If they want to have a conversation, they still go into the phone.
Okay.
But the AI can give the worst answers. It's still a human choice to go there.
So are we saying that a lot of simple stuff is going to move to AI where human beings unnecessarily were used?
Correct.
But there are more complex, more nuanced discussions or support in customer facing roles would actually come to the back office.
Yeah.
So does it mean that now the people that we employ or hire, right, they have to be more nuanced, they have to be more trained, or they have to be more matured in their ability to converse?
Yeah, so no longer you won't have I've never believed in tiering my help desks. I broke away from that years ago. If I'm a customer and I come in, I don't want to hit tier 1, get frustrated that person doesn't know the answer, go to tier 2. Now I'm in escalation tier 3. That's kind of what it is. My AI is my tier 1. It's going to help me. But the people on the help desk need to be tier 3 and above, because otherwise you're just going to frustrate that client. They had that conversation with AI deflected, and now I've ended up with a human being that still doesn't know what they're doing. So I've always built my teams to be the best, with the highest knowledge about the product and customer before they even start working with the customer. My onboardings used to be 7 months before you're a live agent. You could do chats, you could sit behind a chat, but I never wanted that client to feel frustrated that they weren't getting the right answers at that time.
Got you. So what I understand is that for people to be successful in this new world, I'm talking about the guys who come and take up jobs now, who are looking to work for structured companies like IFD, they need to have better emotional quotient, better social quotient, if I'm right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let me put it, you hit the nail on the head. You need to absolutely have a very good communication skills, total understanding of your client. Why would that client be a little bit frustrated when they're calling in and not react to that? There's plenty of help desk scenarios where you can have a client that's upset about a technology failure or their misunderstanding of how the technology works, and it comes out. You don't want to go back at the client with the same response. You want to be a bit more empathetic around what they're trying to achieve.
So all the mediocre work can be easily done. The mediocre quality can be delivered by AI. If you want to generate excellence inside your organization, you still need human beings
Still need human beings right
on
now.
the front line.
Of course.
Maybe assisted by AI.
Oh, absolutely. My whole team is assisted by AI.
Okay.
Right. So as they start to have conversation in the phone, I have agents listening in saying, we've heard this before. Here's some answers you may be able to help that client with. Or as they're typing in a chat, hey, we've had this conversation multiple times. Here is how we solved it in the past. So AI is assisting our agents, but they're making it faster to get those answers to the client, where the client may now ask a second or third question, follow on. We're still doing the same resolution times or faster resolution times, but with better quality.
So where do you see this whole area evolving into? Because what we are already hearing from US, India is still a little behind in catching up. But when I hear from some of my US friends, they are talking about agents doing most of their jobs. Do you see this is more of a hype or this is a reality?
It's a little bit of a hype right now. I think there's some reality to it, right? So we will use agents all day. I mean, I have an agent that looks at my email before I come in, tells me, goes through my email, lets me know what's important, gives me the analysis or synopsis of what's going on in my email. The same with my tickets. My head of support runs an agent to give me a synopsis at the back end of every week. That's freeing him up to do a lot more work. So the real work that I need to get done, configuring stuff that AI is still going to be able to do, train the team. Right now, he's got 3 hours back in this week where he can work with the team, train with the team. I'm sure there will be functions that will be pure agent based.
Yeah.
But he's still got to train those agents at some point, and he's still got to get that information into the platforms. And you've still got to QA that.
I was reading a book called Bullshit Jobs some time back, and I can relate that to this very much because a lot of those bullshit jobs, as the writer explained about that, can actually be done by agents. We don't need to get into that, but there's a lot of quality jobs which at times as professionals, people forget to do that. They say
totally agree.
They are so busy doing those useless jobs that they say, that is my job. That's my whole day's job.
Same conversation with my wife about it again. She's embracing AI in her product marketing role. Yeah. And we were having a conversation over breakfast on Sunday, before I think it's Thursday before I And she's like, yeah, it's kind of funny. I'm like, everyone said that about the steam engine. Or when we came through kind of that whole industrial revolution, people were frightened. What are we going to do? We have more jobs coming out of the industrial revolution and better quality jobs, safer jobs than we ever did. So I think that's going to be the same as we go through the AI revolution.
I mean, I think we started buying more shirts than what we used to buy before Industrial Revolution.
Right.
Human beings started buying more, consuming more because they were available.
Right.
And they were available cheaper.
Absolutely. So as soon as the looms came out and things like that, we built that that commercial society, but people had to build and continue that.
Yeah. So I think I personally feel that it's going to be a much more beautiful society with a lot of independence, much cheaper costs. Yep. So the necessity will be sorted at a much cheaper cost, but you have the ability to do a lot more.
Agreed.
And you will be able to spend a lot more if you want to spend in being much better than what you were.
I think the cost of living may come down.
Yeah.
And for people going to job, well, it's good, I thought so. But yeah, I think the cost of living will come down and people will be able to afford more based upon that.
So, how should a leader look at, balancing between automation overall within the organization and also enabling their people? What would be the approach? So as you are obviously transforming your function, your organization, what is your approach overall, which is balancing, as you have explained, people as well as automation? What's the best approach according to you?
I'm still probably trying to balance that myself.
Okay.
Right? So you say to everyone, hey, we're going to embrace AI. Whatever product you choose to put into your organization and chooses your kind of agenthood for platform. Our coders are writing a lot of code with AI now. We've written code to build the new structured platform. It's incredible. Shane and his team have done amazing jobs. Kudos to that team. The team's writing reporting and analytics for me right now. They're getting good results, but I still don't trust it 100%.
Yeah.
Because the agent or whatever they're putting it into still doesn't have that full understanding of what they're looking for or what's the history behind that data. Right. I think we discussed that briefly yesterday. So you get some, maybe not hallucinations, but some incorrectness there.
Lack of context, if I do.
Lack of context. Thank you. That's perfect. And that's where we are right now. Things very quick, mundane stuff. Oh, absolutely. Anyway, I just need a quick synopsis of what went on in a meeting today. Gong, for instance. That gives me my daily reports. I can go through every client meeting right now that happens every day or every week with a Gong report. And if the Gong report's too long, I throw it into Claude and ask Claude to give me a synopsis. So that sort of stuff works smarter and faster. Love it to bits. Coming down to things like looking at client, working with the CSM and support team, right? I get two different answers. CSM's, doom and gloom, clients unhappy. Support's like, the client's really happy, we did this for them. And I'm caught in the middle. Well, now I can start to look at the sentiment in tickets, emails, phone calls. That's what I love about it. Right? Now I don't have to spend hours on that. We just got all phone up the client and say, are you happy? I can get that understanding before I call into conversation with the client and understand where their head's at and what part of the organization within the client is happy or unhappy. Sometimes the technical implementation teams are really unhappy because they've got to do extra work. But my day-to-day user is ecstatic because they're getting what they want.
Yeah.
So just using it that way. And again, we're coming up against a lot of in-house AI kind of implementation teams that have their kind of implementation practices and making sure that it's not out hallucinating, that it's protecting our client's brand. So we're finding that more and more. We're going through a lot more scrutiny with the AI on that. And we're doing the same internally.
So because we obviously, when it is a critical use of AI, we need to check, double check, triple check, because the moment it's getting done very fast, we kind of start losing track of the quality at times because it's a quantity versus quality. So if you have more quantity, it becomes more difficult to check the quality of the entire quantity of outcome that you are getting.
Oh, I'll sit there some days and I have a conversation with my agent. I'm like, where did I end up? Where did I start? And then I have to go back and actually where I started and where I ended, the information's changed.
Yeah.
And the context may have shifted a little bit.
Yeah.
So now I have to go back and check myself and check the content that I'm building because there are occasional hallucinations or assumptions in there. So I agree, but with a well-founded and trained agent, like mine's not that well-founded and trained, but at platform agents, you spend a lot of time on phenomenal.
So I think we can use it as an assistant rather than someone which will replace our activities.
Correct. And that's
one
one
of the foreseeable future. Maybe with time, it will understand the context better. Maybe a lot of things will happen, but at least for foreseeable future in our careers, we have to.
Amazing, man. Pattern recognition, stuff like that. Crazy good stuff. Still needs a little bit of research from outside just to make sure it's correct.
So one skill I think people will need to develop over time is to understand where to use AI and where not to AI.
Correct.
And also what to doubt and what to accept. So for example, if you just want the sentiment, it's good.
It's really good.
But if you want to really do performance management of a person, it may not understand the entire context of how this performance parameters were set for the person.
Or down to colloquialisms in language.
Yes.
It's not quite got there yet. I have a colleague that uses an AI audio to text.
Yeah.
And it's one of the best.
Yeah.
But it still misses my colloquialisms occasionally. And she's like, stop. What did you just say? And we have to go back and check it. So if you're using that, you got to, make sure that it is appropriate and you're not assuming that everything is put in this.
Especially when there is a blend of culture. So which is very challenging in India. I come from a different culture, born in different culture, grew up in a different place, work with different kind of people. And you can't just say, Abhishek, your language and learning is Bengali.
Right.
As a language, right? I have got a mix of multiple culture and language in whatever I communicate. And that is where I think the challenges will start emerging in places and errors will start.
100%. Yeah, we haven't got quite down to the nth degree of understanding that human culture side of it yet.
Because you are British.
I'm British originally.
Moved to US.
Been in US for 26 years. So almost half my life. And I mix it. And people can't work out Lauren from some days. Most people think come from Australia. That's fine. Sorry, Australia.
That's interesting. So we also see a lot of transformation journeys, in different industries. When we talk about digital transformation or AI transformation, any transformation for our sake, it fails miserably.
Yes.
Even if they put a lot of money, there's a lot of good intent at the top. What did you find in your experience is the biggest reason of such failures?
You go from multiple points, right? So is the end client bought into that transformation?
Okay.
Do they have that same vision as whomever decided to start this project? There's a lot of procurement teams out there that will buy a new piece of software, and there's someone that started the process, and then you have your end user. And the end user, I didn't choose this platform, so they're not bought into it. So that's why we start to bring them in from Journey One, building that passion. The other thing is the technology too complex? Am I just throwing a sledgehammer at something I don't need, or a V8 engine when I could use a small little engine to do this sort of thing? And making sure the solution is correct for the outcome. That's really interesting, and making sure the management or the leadership is still connected to it. Sometimes leadership go, here's here's a project we're going to go for, go run it. And then
Mm.
disconnect from it.
Right.
And then everyone else is spinning going, I think this is what they wanted.
Yeah.
You've seen the old adage of how the customer wanted and how the developer built it and how the product manager,
Yeah.
that can still happen.
Yeah.
So making sure that if a project is kicking off, there's still those defined goals, defined check-ins, defined metrics. How I bought it. Wow. Because if I have one little bit of doubt about this project, that can be a roadblock. It'll be a naysayer. And I've been in large, massive organizations earlier on in my career where there was digital transformation, and we were building an in-house platform, and there was 2 or 3 naysayers, and it killed a multi-million-dollar project on the day of delivery because they weren't bought it. They were told that this is the platform we're going to use. So you got to bring in people from day one.
So a lot is also about narratives, isn't it?
Exactly.
What narrative actually wins inside the organization?
Why are we doing this? What's in it for me? What's in it for you? What's in it for the company? What are we going to get out of it? And if people don't understand that, a lot of people are fearful of their jobs. Or am I going to be replaced?
Yeah.
Is there someone else going to kind of do this for me? So if you can bring in your knowledge experts from day one and they feel comfortable with that, rather than, oh, I'm giving my data and they're going to replace me, you can get a lot further down the line and better success with projects. We see that quite frequently.
So communication is very, very important. And
Communication, quality of communications,
yeah.
and consistency of communication.
And then that these are all aspects of change management, if I can say that. Fundamentally.
Yep.
So it's more about the transformation depends on what is the quality of change management you've done inside the organization. How do you set the context to all the people that what you are doing, why you are doing,
Correct.
how you are doing,
Yep.
what's happening and why it is happening.
And the stakeholders throughout, right?
And the stakeholders.
So sometimes you'll forget there's a stakeholder down here and they have a major part, but nobody's put 2 and 2 together, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, that's not going to work. Damn it. Now we go back to the drawing board and have to do it again. Or it stalls the project out and now it becomes, the elephant in the room, right? How much more is it going to cost us to fix this because we forgot about this? And we see that occasionally with clients with complex like SSOs. The people we're dealing with are the technologists.
Yeah.
They're the marketing team.
Yeah.
So from day one now, our conversations are, who do we need to speak to from your side of the organization to make sure this is successful and doesn't delay successful launch, right? And bring those technologists in.
And what will make their life easier? Because they are only interested in making their own lives easier.
Right.
They are
Exactly.
not much worried about the company's objective. I mean, though they are interested, but they are not worried about it. They're
Correct.
more worried about their day-to-day life.
Absolutely.
Are they able to meet their KPIs and KRAs well?
100%.
They can get promoted.
Is there a security issue with us coming in and doing this? And then you've got the marketing person saying, this is great. Now I can do my content faster. We got the IT guy over here saying, well, it breaks our security protocols.
Yeah.
So that's why we start to bring those in again, communication, change management, and setting those goals. And then if we need to, readjusting those goals and making sure everybody understands those readjusted goals.
So if an organization is fundamentally structured wrong, no transformation can fix it.
You'd have to,
So for example,
you'd have to transform the
organization
integration
first, the structure first. The
Start
people
at the organization first.
That's what I'm saying. So when the organization, let's say people don't know what they're supposed to do,
Yep.
if people are not clear about their KPIs, KRAs,
Right.
if they don't know where the company is going,
Yep.
bring any amount of transformation program
Will
or
fail.
software,
Yep.
nothing will work because then you can't relate that software
Yep.
to the overall objective of the company and their roles.
Absolutely.
And it's not going to work.
When I used to work my last company, I had quite a large team, probably about 60, 70 people. And I realized early on, if I didn't bring in all 60, 70 people, later on in the communications, I had my managers and my sub-managers in there, and they were on board and they could communicate to their teams. Everything worked out a lot faster and smoother. So got to fix your organizations.
So Julian, you are giving me a lot of hope because as a service company, we believe that our role eventually will change to become more of change managers rather than just software providers.
100%.
If software can be written by AI,
Yep.
we will go ahead and help in clients implementing that software,
Exactly.
driving the change management process, driving the communication process, and this still cannot be done by AI. Because at least in this generation and maybe the next one,
Right.
people won't trust AI in terms of guiding them
No.
on a day-to-day basis about how they should talk, what they should do.
Great. I agree that implementation skills and transformation skills will be a massive part of the success for any company.
So this also means that eventually we will see the boundary lines of consulting and tech getting blurred.
But
Yeah. Do you
absolutely. So I started out my life in tech. Right. I was an engineer. I was a road engineer for Avar in Europe, working on IBM's compacts, building rack systems, blowing fiber. And then I started getting into the consultancy side of it. Like, how do we do that? And that's how I ended up in America. I was brought over here by a large, or over there by a large industry analyst company that we all know. And consultancy was key at that point, rather than just being a technologist. Technologists, the world changed, right? And being able to consult and then help set the goals around why we were doing something and how we were doing something, rather than, hey, this is the technology, isn't it fantastic? Before I even showed technology, they were bought it. Well, because we knew we could change for them and bring it in. That was the exciting part of that.
So a lot of people who see this podcast, they are basically looking at the confluence of tech and business.
Mm-hmm.
They want to drive more value for their business using tech, not just use tech for the sake of tech, but say that, okay, how can I actually drive business results from tech? How can I drive ROI from tech? And that is my core audience who listens to this podcast. Would you share some of your broader thoughts about how they should approach this problem of extracting value
from your technology? Absolutely. Again, as you said, a lot of people just put tech in for tech's sake.
Yeah.
When you're choosing technology or working with your teams to understand, what's my problem statement? What am I trying to solve? Mm-hmm. Am I trying to solve an immediate issue, or am I trying to solve and give value back to the business that is it revenue related? Is it going to lower the cost of operation? Mm-hmm. And is it actually going to be used? I mean, a lot of products used to be called shelfware, right? Because you get with this, because it's out the shelf, and now it's cloudware. It's doing about that whole work first, right? There's a lot of people that go out there and just buy software, hundreds of thousands of dollars software. I've seen it multiple times where they buy it and it's not quite what they want, but they're built into a 3-year contract because they've got a good rate.
Yeah.
And now they're struggling square peg round hole rather than doing the homework up front. And again, getting that team buy-in. But also, what do I need to achieve? Is it a business practice? Is it a cost saving? Is it a client acquisition tool? And really will it be adopted? And where will I be with this in 3 to 6 years? Big investments, whether it be on the software itself, or the biggest part of software these days is the implementation costs. The consulting fees, the implementation, where you start to win.
And running cost.
Running costs.
You have maintenance
fees. Now I'm paying all the cloud servers in the world, all the money to run these.
Yeah.
And it better be good for my business.
Yeah, absolutely. So very important point is that what do I want out of it? If you don't know that, if you don't know the destination you want to achieve using tech, then don't even get into it.
I used to build reports, and when I used to build software for events, clients want different things. I just want to register people. Great. But what do you really want to do? At the end of the day, what do you want out of it?
Yeah.
And it'd be, I need to know who attended. Okay, now we've moved from, I just want to register. I need to know who came. Why do you need to know who came? I need to know whether I can market them this because they attended that session. Or now we got down to session level tracking. So it's those conversations, that consultancy. You don't need an external consultant to do it. You build it internally. At the end of the day, where do I need to be? What's my alpha? What's my ultimate alpha?
So ability to ask difficult questions for which you don't have answers.
Ask the question. It's not an argument. I used to sit with clients all the time, big clients, and ask them very difficult questions. And it was just to get them thinking about their processes.
And for that, you don't need a consulting firm to do that. You can ask yourself.
It's just going to be human. Yeah. Got to be human. Understand your business. And if you don't understand your business, bring in your change agents for other organizations. We all go subject matter experts. I don't make all decisions for my team. I reach out to Anthony, Rob, the whole team, and we'll do a group think on it. My job is just to bring a team together and operate efficiently.
I mean, one of my passion is also to see how organizations can be built to make it more successful. Mm-hmm. How can we be more sure about building an organization which is successful?
Yep.
And for that, I would love to pick your brains on how do you guys run a very distributed team. Yesterday when we were speaking, you were saying that all the senior management lives in different cities in the US.
All the senior management lives in a different state, in a different time zone.
How do you guys work?
Every employee lives in a different state.
I would love to learn a little bit from there. And if you can share that.
You got to build trust in your team, right? Okay. We all went, obviously, COVID was a really good test for us all now to bring out the 2020s test of how we were working. I used to be in office every day. I used to drive from New Hampshire to Connecticut once a week, stay in a hotel for 4 nights, drive home at the end of the week, another 5 hours, and do it again. Did that for 13 years because we didn't trust our teams. COVID hit, we had to trust our teams. And it became down to communication tools, right? Daily stand-ups. I mean, if you have a development team, even support teams will do a daily stand on it. But getting back to kind of building that team is trust, putting the right bodies in the right roles. And if it's not the right body in the right role, is there a role for that person? If not, make the decision quickly because you will regret having that person in your team who's sandbagging it. And that sounds cruel, but it's not. We're all here to run successful businesses. The biggest part of us running is communication and trust, right? When we first started working remotely, I was away from my desk for 10 minutes. I'd be panicking. Like, oh my God, someone might have reached out to me on Slack or Teams or Skype or whatever it was back then and go, perhaps they think I was Skyping off. No, my output at the end of the day proves that I'm working, right? And Stacy, our new CEO, says, I don't care whether you're at your desk. Just get your job done. I trust you to get your job done. Now, certain roles have to be at their desks. My support team need to be at their desk to be able to answer phone calls and emails. PS teams need to be converting data all day long or whatever. Developers need to be wealthy. Sales, CSMs, they can work split shifts as long as they cover clients. And everything, for me at least, I have metrics and KPIs that show what my teams are doing and the quality that it's doing. And we do weekly check-ins with every single team member, right? So we used to be able to walk past, sit down at the desk, have a conversation with them. I still do that. I do it on Slack. Well, hey, 2 minutes? I just bumped into you in the corridor. Let's have a conversation. Everything doesn't have to be scheduled. And that's where if people have scheduled meetings all the time, they're like, okay, I've got to prepare for this meeting. It was a call with Julian at 10 minutes. Now you start to get a prepared person. Oh, on the corridor conversation. How's it going today? That sucks to do stuff, right? I want to have that conversation. I'm bringing team members back and worked with me before I came across the structure because we had such a trusted environment. And they are incredible A players at doing this. So the more people I can bring in that can show other teams how to do that, the better it is for us. But yeah, it's trusted communication.
So it's more about like managing by walking around that you prefer instead of structured meetings because as you rightly said, people can come much more prepared.
Oh, absolutely.
And it actually can be, it may be distorted data at times.
Yeah.
Because
they are towards it, but also people fear those one-on-ones. Right? I still do one-on-ones. I have a scheduled time in case we don't get together. And it'll be hey, do you want to catch up today? Do you not want to catch up today? I've got a couple of things for you. Do you have anything for me? And it'll be as quick as that. Even my one-on-one with the CEO is the same. It's a very conversational input-output. Yes, we have a dedicated 1 hour leadership meeting every week. We have to. There's a lot moving in this business at this time. But for my direct reports and their direct reports, yeah. And I'll reach out to anybody's direct report and say, come again, each manager can talk to anybody else inside the company. It doesn't matter. There's a trust factor. If someone's having a bad day or they're having a bad day, reach out to them, say hi, be human. That's what it's down to.
So, I mean, what you said, it resonates with me. I think there are two things that also comes out in my mind as I hear you. One thing is that I think the company needs to have high level of clarity of what they want to achieve.
Absolutely.
Because without that, working in a remote team structure can become very difficult because then nobody knows what the company is trying to achieve. I mean, remote or unremote. It's going to be nice.
I totally agree. And sorry to crash it. I couldn't agree more. It's just, if you don't know the direction of the company, do you know what you're working towards?
Yeah.
And you can do that. A lot of people have KPIs, they do OKRs, and it gets too complicated, right? Oh my God, I got to get to this OKR. Oh, I didn't make it. Companies as small as ours, yeah, OKRs could be a good thing, but divisional or team level goals for a week. I set goals I'm going to try and get to each week, right? That's what I need to do. And I'll say to my team, we need to reach these goals this week. Support, I need you to get to 97% customer satisfaction this week. Last week it dropped. Let's see what's going on. Need to get through this many tickets. Development, I don't run. I know Shane has sprint goals that he needs to get through. PS, we need to convert this money. So I always have goals, but are they realistic? If you set people unrealistic goals, now you know they're sitting at home. They don't have a unit around them to see how they could solve that. Used to be, hey, can you help me for 10 minutes? So we fully encourage it. I'll have anyone reach out to me and any across the company and just say, hey, can you help me? I'm more than happy to jump in. And you should be. That's the way it's changed, I say, in the last 5 to 6 years.
And I think when you have too many goals or too many numbers, it becomes quite problematic. So, I mean, if you have...
You're managing the numbers and not the output.
So if you know fundamentally, for example, in your kind of a business, and you very interestingly told me yesterday that I have to grow million dollar, I have to top up net new is my goal.
Yep.
This means that there is a high level of clarity across the organization.
Absolutely.
That this is the net new I have to add this year.
And my whole team knows that.
And everybody knows that. And everybody is talking that same language.
Correct.
And maybe you might have another 2 such numbers in the entire organization, if I'm right.
We probably have 3-4 numbers that we share with the organization.
Yeah. And so people can...
Everybody's wrapped around EBITDA and time to value. That time to value, that should be down on my CSMs. Whole company doesn't need to know that. And having a defined set of metrics that we can show on every all hands call, the monthly all hands, is great. In fact, we just changed our all hands structure to become less formal. It used to be a 2-hour formal call once a month, trying to get a company to sit still for 2 hours. And also with, 70% of our team offshore in India.
Yeah.
That's tough. It's late at night for you guys. We don't want to be doing that. You guys want to travel home. It's lost productivity. But now we're turning over to bi-weekly half-an-hour meetings, which is more about just quick knowledge shares. Hey, what'd you do this week? I did this. And it's going to be run by our CFO, and it's going to be a lot more conversation. And then we would do those quarterly 1-hour meetings to give full updates. That's the mentality you got to start running as a company. And we've all changed, right? We're 40, 50 years old. 30, how long ago did I join the real workplace? 35 years ago when I joined the workplace, a monthly all hands was a very stringent event. The CEO got up and spoke, and it was all slides, and the CFO went through everything. Whoa, this is petty. And now it should be a lot softer. And people going into the workplace, I'm expected to have fun.
No, absolutely. I mean, inside of our own organization, we now only have 5 key objectives for the whole year.
Oh, wow.
And we don't ask people to track it.
Yep.
The finance systems or the MI systems automatically track it and push it on our desk.
Yep.
And that's, I think, the best use of IT or AI.
Right. Yep.
That can keep tracking the number that we want to really track and keep throwing the same number to all of us so that we all are on
the same number at the same time.
And our time should go more about fixing where we are deviating rather than getting into longer meetings and just seeing the number.
Yep.
And we used to do it. And again, we all have done it in the past. And we used to do it. And they said, we don't want to see the numbers on the screen every time.
No.
We just want to know, are we deviating? If we are deviating, what are we going to fix it?
Show me the error, not the good stuff. Yeah, if the good stuff's true, that's great. Let's celebrate that when we want to. Yeah. Where can I track where it's going off course before it becomes a bigger issue?
I think that is the best use of tech and AI.
Oh, absolutely. And I mentioned a report that my head of support sends to me every week right now.
Yeah.
That's where I start to look at where are we going off course.
Okay.
What didn't we do correctly? Damn it. With too many people on the team in a certain area. This week was a national holiday in that area. I wasn't able to cover support properly. Now I need to start to look at, okay, where do I put my next support team and stuff like that. Show me the errors before they become issues.
So that also reduces your effort and madness in terms of management.
Yeah.
Because otherwise management can be driving you mad because you are trying to measure.
Early days of trying to get information like this was terrible. Yeah.
It's
my AI is fantastic for this.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, I think this conversation was really useful.
Amazing.
And I took some very interesting thoughts from
likewise. Thank you.
Which I will definitely see how I can use it.
Appreciate it.
In IMT and maybe for some of my partners.
It's good to be back here. I look forward to hopefully we can connect in the US in a couple of weeks when you're over.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.